Maya couldn't concentrate at work the next day. Every time Dr. Kim asked her a question about the routine observations, her mind wandered back to Zane and their incredible meeting. She kept checking the clock, counting hours until sunset. "You seem distracted today," Dr. Kim said during their afternoon break. He was a kind man in his 50s who had mentored Maya since she joined the team. "Everything all right at home, just tired," Maya replied, which wasn't entirely a lie. She had barely slept, replaying every moment of her encounter with the alien being. "Maybe you should take a few days off. You've been working too hard lately." Maya nodded, grateful for the suggestion. She needed time to process what was happening to her life. That evening, Maya prepared carefully for Zane's return. She set up her laptop outside, loaded with pictures and videos to show him human culture. She had spent the day thinking about how to explain things like music, art, and food to a being of pure energy. As darkness fell, Maya waited in her backyard. The storm from the previous night had passed, leaving behind a clear sky full of stars. She had never noticed how bright they looked from her yard. A familiar blue glow appeared near her garden, quickly forming into Zane's tall figure. This time, he looked more solid, more human-like, though still made of flowing light. "You came back," Maya said, surprised by how relieved she felt. "I promised I would." "Did you think about our conversation?" "I couldn't think about anything else." Maya gestured to her laptop. "I brought some things to show you about human life." Zane moved closer, his energy form casting gentle light across Maya's face. "Before we explore your culture, would you like to experience how my people perceive existence?" Maya hesitated for only a moment before nodding. Zane extended his hand, and when she took it, the world around her exploded into new colors and sensations. Suddenly, Maya could see the energy flowing through everything around her. The trees in her yard pulsed with green life force. The earth beneath her feet hummed with magnetic currents. Even the air itself was alive with particles dancing in patterns too complex for normal human senses to detect. "This is beautiful," Maya whispered, watching streams of energy connect every living thing in sight. "This is reality as it truly exists," Zane explained. "Your physical senses show you only a small part of the universe. Everything is connected through vibrations and energy fields." For the next hour, Zane taught Maya to perceive the world differently. She learned to sense the electromagnetic signatures of different materials, to feel the life force of plants and animals, even to detect the distant radio signals from her own observatory. "Your turn," Maya said eventually. "Let me show you human experiences." She started with simple things. Maya picked an apple from her neighbor's tree that hung over the fence and offered it to Zane. When he touched it, his energy form flickered with new colors. "The complexity is incredible," Zane said, his voice filled with wonder. "So many different molecules creating layers of taste and texture. How do you process all this information?" "We don't think about it," Maya laughed. "We just enjoy it." She showed him music next, playing different songs on her laptop. Classical music made Zane's light pulse in steady, organized patterns. Rock music created chaotic swirls of energy around him. But when Maya played a simple folk song her grandmother used to sing, Zane's entire form went still. "This one contains something different," he said quietly. "Emotion," Maya explained. "The singer is expressing feelings about love and loss. That's what makes it beautiful to us." "Emotion," Zane repeated the word like he was tasting it. "We have knowledge and purpose, but we have forgotten how to feel." Maya spent time explaining human emotions, happiness, sadness, fear, love, with each concept. She shared personal memories to help Zane understand. She told him about her childhood wonder at the stars, her excitement when she first used a telescope, her loneliness working night shifts at the observatory. As they talked, Maya noticed Zane's form was becoming more stable, more human-like. She could see individual features now: high cheekbones, intelligent eyes that seemed to hold entire galaxies. "You're changing," Maya observed, "being near you, learning from you. It is affecting my energy patterns. I am becoming more compatible with your physical reality." Maya felt a flutter of something she couldn't quite name. Standing close to Zane, sharing thoughts and experiences, felt more intimate than any relationship she had ever had with another human. Maya, Zane said suddenly, his voice more serious, I must warn you about something. My presence here is creating electromagnetic disturbances that your government monitors. They have technology that searches for unexplained energy signatures. You mean they know you're here? Not yet, but if I continue visiting you like this, they will detect the anomalies. Your supervisor, Dr. Kim, has already noticed unusual readings from the equipment near your home. Maya's heart sank. She had just found the most amazing connection of her life, and already it was threatened by outside forces. What do? We must be more careful. I can mask my energy signature, but it requires more effort. And Maya, Zane moved closer, his form solidifying further. There's something else you should know about why I came here. What? My people are dying. Our star system is collapsing, and we exist as pure energy with no physical anchor. We have been searching the galaxy for compatible species, beings we can bond with to survive. Maya felt a chill that had nothing to do with the night air. Bond with? A joining of consciousness, your awareness combined with our knowledge and abilities. Both species would survive, but both would be changed forever. The implications hit Maya like a wave. Zane wasn't just here to learn about humans. He was here because his entire species needed humans to survive. Is that what you want from me? Maya asked quietly. Zane was silent for a long moment, his light dim and uncertain. I came here with that mission, but spending time with you, learning about human emotions and experiences, I find myself conflicted. I do not wish to take your humanity from you, but I also cannot let my people fade into extinction. Maya stared at this being who had traveled across the galaxy to find her. She felt the weight of an impossible decision settling on her shoulders. How much time do we have? My people can maintain energy form for perhaps 2 of your months before we begin to dissipate permanently. 2 months. Maya looked up at the stars, knowing that somewhere out there, an entire species was counting on the decision she would have to make. Don't stop, human. Zane murmured, moving closer to her. Don't stop learning. Don't stop questioning. Don't stop reaching for the impossible. Your curiosity is what brought me to you across impossible distances. As he spoke, Zane's hand touched Maya's face, sending warm energy through her entire body. For a moment, she glimpsed what joining with him might be like: expanded consciousness, the ability to perceive the universe in ways no human had ever experienced, knowledge that spanned galaxies. But she also saw what she would lose: her human connections, her simple pleasures, maybe even her individual identity. I need time to think, Maya whispered. Of course, but please remember, Maya, whatever you decide, you have already given my people something precious. You have shown us what it means to feel. Zane's form began to fade as dawn approached. I will return tomorrow night, and Maya, be careful who you trust with this knowledge. Not all humans would understand what we are trying to achieve together. As Zane disappeared, Maya realized her life had become a bridge between 2 worlds, and soon she would have to choose which side she belonged on. Maya sat in her small apartment, staring at the rain streaming down her window. 3 days had passed since her discovery at the observatory, and she hadn't been able to focus on anything else. She had called in sick to work, something she never did, just to process what was happening. Her laptop was open on the coffee table, filled with calculations and signal patterns. Every time she looked at the data, it seemed more impossible. Something from space was talking to her, and tonight, she would return to continue the conversation. Lightning flashed outside, followed by a deep rumble of thunder. Maya loved thunderstorms. They reminded her why she became interested in astronomy in the first place. As a child, she would sit by her bedroom window during storms, watching the lightning and wondering what else was out there in the darkness. The power flickered once, then went out completely. Maya groaned and reached for her phone's flashlight, but something made her stop. A soft blue glow was coming from her living room window. Different from lightning, she walked closer and peered through the rain-streaked glass. The light was moving, dancing in patterns that seemed almost alive. It reminded Maya of the northern lights she had seen once during a college trip to Alaska. But this was happening in her backyard during a thunderstorm. As she watched, the lights began to take shape. They swirled together, forming what looked like a person made of pure energy. Maya's heart started racing, but she couldn't look away. The figure was tall and graceful, with features that seemed both foreign and somehow familiar. "This isn't possible," Maya whispered, but even as she said it, she knew this was connected to the signals from space. The being of light moved closer to her window. Maya could see its face now, or what looked like a face. The features shifted constantly, like water reflecting starlight. When it looked directly at her, Maya felt a strange warmth spread through her chest. Without thinking, Maya walked to her front door and opened it. The rain should have soaked her immediately, but somehow she stayed completely dry. The storm continued around them, but it felt like she and the being were in a bubble of calm. "You are the one who answered," the being said, though Maya wasn't sure if she heard the words or felt them in her mind. The voice was neither male nor female, but something entirely new. "Who are you?" Maya asked, surprised at how steady her own voice sounded. "My name translates to something like Searcher of Distant Songs, but you may call me Zane." The being's form solidified slightly, becoming more human-like but still made of flowing light. Maya stepped closer, fascinated despite her fear. "You're from the signals. You're what I've been talking to." "Yes, I have traveled very far to meet you." Maya Rodriguez, hearing her name spoken by this alien being, sent chills down her spine. "Your signals called to me across the galaxy. Your way of thinking, your curiosity about the universe, it resonated through space itself." "How is that possible?" Zane moved closer, and Maya could feel energy radiating from him like warmth. "From a fireplace, your research into stellar mapping created ripples in what you call space-time. Most humans think in straight lines, but you think in patterns that span across stars. My people have been searching for minds like yours." Maya looked around her quiet neighborhood. All the houses were dark from the power outage, and no one else seemed to notice the incredible light show happening in her yard. "Why me? I'm just one person working at a small observatory." "That is exactly why," Zane replied. "You listen when others are too busy talking. You look for connections where others see only emptiness. This makes you special among your kind." As they talked, Maya noticed that Zane's form was becoming more solid, more human-like. She could see details now, the way his energy form moved, like liquid silver, how his eyes held depths like looking into space itself. "What do you want from me?" Maya asked. "To learn, to understand. My people exist as pure consciousness, but we have forgotten what it means to experience life through physical senses. We know mathematics and energy, but we have never tasted rain or felt the warmth of another being." Maya reached out tentatively, and Zane extended what looked like a hand made of flowing starlight. When their fingers touched, Maya felt a jolt of electricity, not painful, but energizing. She could suddenly sense things she had never noticed before: the electromagnetic field around her house, the radio waves passing through the air, even the distant signals from satellites in orbit. "This is how we perceive reality," Zane explained. "Everything is connected through energy and vibration. Your scientists are beginning to understand this, but your people still think of yourselves as separate from the universe." For an hour, they stood in Maya's yard, sharing knowledge and experiences. Zane showed her how to sense the life force of plants and animals around them. Maya taught him about human emotions, trying to explain concepts like loneliness and joy to a being who had never experienced them. "Your people must think I'm crazy if they could see me now," Maya said. "Watching neighbors' windows remain dark and empty. They cannot see me unless I wish them to." Zane replied, "Right now, I exist only for you, but this form is difficult to maintain. I'm using great energy to appear solid in your world." Maya noticed that Zane's light was starting to flicker, like a candle in wind. "Are you okay?" "I must rest and regain strength, but I will return tomorrow night. If you wish to continue learning together." "Yes," Maya said immediately. I want to understand more. Zane's form began to fade, but before he disappeared completely, he moved close to Maya one more time. Be careful who you tell about this. Your government watches for signs of contact with my kind. They would not understand what we are trying to achieve. With that warning, Zane dissolved back into points of light that scattered on the wind like glowing raindrops. The storm continued, and Maya's power flickered back on as if nothing had happened. She stood in her yard for several more minutes, wondering if she had imagined the whole encounter. But when she looked at her hands, they still glowed faintly with residual energy from touching Zane. Maya walked back inside, her mind spinning with possibilities. Everything she thought she knew about life and the universe had just changed. Tomorrow night couldn't come fast enough? Dr. Maya Rodriguez stared at the computer screen, her coffee growing cold beside a stack of research papers. The clock on the wall showed to 47 a.m., but sleep was the last thing on her mind. Working alone at the radio telescope facility had its perks: complete silence, no interruptions, and the chance to catch signals that others might miss during busy day shifts. For 3 years, Maya had been listening to space every night. She analyzed radio waves coming from distant stars, hoping to find something extraordinary. Most nights brought nothing but static and the usual cosmic background noise. Tonight felt different. The signal appeared suddenly on her monitor, a series of rhythmic pulses that made her heart skip. Maya leaned forward, adjusting her thick-rimmed glasses. The pattern wasn't random like natural cosmic sounds. It had structure, almost like music with mathematical precision woven through it. "What are you?" she whispered to the screen. Maya had discovered pulsars before, those spinning stars that send out regular radio beams. But this signal was unlike anything in her database. The pulses seemed to follow a sequence: short, long, short, short, long. Then it repeated, but with subtle variations each time. She ran the signal through every analysis program she knew. The computer worked for an hour, processing the data while Maya paced around the small control room. Her supervisor, Dr. Kim, would arrive in 5 hours, and she needed to have something concrete to show him. The results made her sit down hard in her chair. The signal contained prime numbers, those special numbers that can only be divided by themselves, and one, but not just any prime numbers. They were arranged in a pattern that seemed to respond to Earth's own radio emissions. From earlier that day, Maya's hands trembled as she reached for her notebook. 4 years. Scientists had wondered what an alien signal might look like. Most expected something obvious, like pictures or simple math. This was different. It was elegant, sophisticated, and somehow familiar. She decided to test something crazy. Maya programmed the telescope to send a simple mathematical sequence back toward the signal's source. Just the first few prime numbers, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. If someone was really out there, they would understand. 20 minutes later, her computer started beeping frantically. The return signal wasn't just the same numbers. It was the next sequence of primes, followed by something that made Maya's breath catch: the mathematical formula she had published in her doctoral thesis 2 years ago. "That's impossible," she said aloud, but the evidence was right there on her screen. How could something from deep space know about her research? Her thesis wasn't famous, just a small piece of work about mapping stellar distances. Only a few dozen people had ever read it, yet somehow, this signal was referencing her specific calculations. Maya looked around the empty control room, suddenly feeling very alone. The facility sat on a hilltop miles from the nearest town. During the day, 12 people worked here. At night, just her. She reached for her phone to call Dr. Kim, then stopped. What would she say? That aliens were reading her college papers? Instead, she decided to continue the conversation. Maya sent another sequence, this time her personal identification number from the university. It was a number only she would know, randomly assigned when she started graduate school. The response came faster this time. Not only did the signal echo back her ID number, but it also sent the coordinates of her exact location on Earth, calculated to within a few meters. Maya pushed her chair back from the desk, her heart pounding. Whatever was sending this signal knew where she was. It knew her work, her location, maybe even more. The thought should have terrified her, but instead, she felt a strange excitement. For the next 2 hours, Maya exchanged increasingly complex mathematical concepts with the unknown sender. The entity, she had started thinking of it as a person, rather than a thing, seemed eager to learn about human mathematics and science. It sent back solutions to problems that would take her colleagues weeks to solve. As dawn approached, the signal began to change. The mathematical sequences were replaced by something else. Patterns that made no sense on paper but somehow felt meaningful. Maya found herself staring at the screen, feeling like someone was trying to tell her something important in a language she almost understood. Her phone buzzed with a text from her roommate Lisa. "Working late again. You missed dinner." With my parents, Maya had completely forgotten about the dinner plans. She texted back, "Sorry, big discovery tonight. We'll explain later." But even as she typed, Maya wondered how she could possibly explain this to anyone. Who would believe that she was having a conversation with something from another world? And, more importantly, what did it want? The signal was getting stronger, which meant its source was getting closer to Earth, according to her calculations. Whatever was sending these messages was moving toward the solar system at incredible speed. If the pattern continued, it would reach Earth's vicinity within days. Maya saved all her data to multiple backup drives, then sat back in her chair. The sun was rising outside the windows, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. Soon, Dr. Kim and the day shift would arrive, and she would have to decide whether to share her discovery. She looked at the screen one more time. The signal had stopped, but somehow Maya knew it would return tonight, and when it did, she would be waiting. Whatever was out there had chosen to talk to her specifically. The thought was both thrilling and terrifying. Maya gathered her things and headed for the exit, unaware that her life had just changed forever. As she drove down the winding mountain road toward town, she couldn't shake the feeling that someone was watching her, waiting for her return. That night, she would come back to the telescope, expecting another mathematical conversation. Instead, she would discover that some communications transcend numbers and words entirely. Some messages can only be understood when delivered in person. 6 months later, Maya stood in the same observatory where everything began. But now she saw it through different eyes. The familiar equipment hummed around her, but she could perceive the electromagnetic patterns flowing through every circuit, every wire, every signal traveling between Earth and the stars. The partial bonding with Zane had changed her in ways she was still discovering. She looked human, felt human, but her consciousness had expanded beyond anything she could have imagined. She could sense radio waves from across the galaxy, understand mathematical concepts that would take human scientists decades to develop, and most importantly, she could communicate directly with Zane's people as they slowly approached Earth. "The energy readings are incredible," Dr. Kim said, reviewing data at a nearby console. "I still can't believe what happened to you, Maya." Their relationship had been awkward at first. Maya understood now that Dr. Kim had been reporting her activities because he genuinely feared for humanity's safety. When Director Nash had tried to capture Zane, Dr. Kim realized he had made a mistake. The government's attempt to contain Zane had nearly killed both him and Maya when she chose to link her consciousness with his to save him. "How are you feeling today?" Dr. Kim asked, the same question he posed every morning since Maya returned to work, more balanced. Maya replied honestly, "Zane and I are learning to share this space without overwhelming each other." It had taken weeks to find equilibrium. At first, Maya felt like she was drowning in alien thoughts and perceptions. Zane's vast knowledge and cosmic perspective had been too much for her human mind to process, but gradually they learned to exist together, Maya retaining her humanity and emotions while gaining access to Zane's abilities and knowledge. The door to the observatory opened, and Chloe walked in carrying coffee for everyone. Maya's sister had taken a leave of absence from her job in the city to stay close and help Maya adjust to her new reality. "Any word from the advanced scouts today?" Chloe asked, handing Maya a cup. 3 more ships entered the outer solar system. This morning, Maya replied, they're being very careful to avoid detection by your satellites. Chloe still struggled with referring to humanity as your people when talking to Maya, but she was trying to be supportive. The sister she had known was still there, just expanded beyond normal human limitations. Are they all like Zane? Doctor, Kim asked. Maya paused, accessing the part of her consciousness that stayed connected to Zane even when he wasn't. Physically manifested. Some are. Others are more scientific. Less interested in emotional connection, more focused on survival. This was the challenge Maya had been working on for months. Not all of Zane's people were as open to peaceful coexistence as he was. Some wanted to bond with humans quickly and completely, essentially taking over human bodies to save themselves. Others preferred to remain as pure energy beings, but needed humans to anchor them to physical reality. Maya had become the bridge between worlds, using her unique position to negotiate terms that would allow both species to survive and thrive. Together, Dr. Rodriguez, a voice called from the communications station. You have an encrypted message from the Department of Advanced Sciences. Maya smiled at the name. After the disaster with Director Nash, the government had created an entirely new department to handle alien contact. Dr. Rebecca Torres, the new director, was a scientist first and understood that cooperation was better than confrontation. Maya read the message quickly. They want to schedule another meeting with the integration volunteers. Over the past months, Maya had helped identify other humans who might be compatible with Zane's people. Not everyone could handle the consciousness bonding. It required a specific type of mind that could expand without losing its essential human nature. So far, they have found 12 suitable candidates worldwide. How many of Zane's people are planning to integrate? Chloe asked. About 50 in the first wave. The rest want to wait and see how successful the initial bondings are. Maya walked to the main telescope control and placed her hand on the interface immediately. She could sense signals from all across the galaxy, communications between alien species, the death songs of dying stars, the birth cries of new worlds. But most clearly, she could feel Zane's people approaching Earth, their consciousness songs filled with hope and uncertainty. Maya, Dr. Kim said carefully, are you sure this is the right path? Once more of them bond with humans, there's no going back. There's no going back anyway. Maya replied, Zane's people will die if they don't find anchor points in physical reality, and humans will eventually destroy ourselves if we don't evolve beyond our current limitations. This partnership could save both species. But at what cost? The volunteers will never be fully human again. Maya turned to face her mentor and friend. Dr. Kim, was I fully human before this happened? I spent my nights alone, listening to empty space, hoping to find something meaningful in the darkness. Now I'm part of something vast and beautiful that connects consciousness across the entire universe. Chloe joined the conversation. But you're still my sister. You still laugh at bad jokes and cry during sad movies. You haven't lost the things that make you Maya. Exactly. The bonding doesn't erase who we are. It adds to who we can become. As if summoned by their conversation, Zane materialized in the observatory. His energy form was more stable now, anchored by his connection to Maya. He could maintain physical appearance for hours without strain. The Council of Minds has reached a decision, Zane announced. They approved the integration plan. Maya felt a wave of relief through their shared consciousness. Zane's people had been debating for weeks about whether to proceed with the bondings or search for another solution. All of them, Maya asked. Most? A few still preferred to take human hosts completely, but they have agreed to try our approach. First, Dr. Kim looked uncomfortable. What exactly does that mean? Taking hosts completely? Zane's form darkened slightly. Some of my people believe the only way to survive is to completely merge with human consciousness, essentially replacing the human personality with our own. I have convinced most of them that partnership is better than possession. And if they change their minds, Chloe asked, protective concern clear in her voice, then Maya and I, along with the other bonded pairs, will stand between them and humanity. Zane replied firmly. We are committed to peaceful coexistence. Maya walked to the window overlooking the valley below. In the distance, she could see the construction site where they were building the first integration center, a facility where humans and Zane's people could meet safely and begin the bonding process. When do we start? She asked. The first. Volunteers arrive tomorrow, Zane said. Are you ready to guide them through what you experienced? Maya thought about those first terrifying and wonderful moments, when her consciousness had expanded beyond human limitations. The fear, the confusion, the incredible joy of perceiving reality in entirely new ways. I'm ready. But Zane, promise me something, anything. If any of your people try to force bonding or harm humans, you'll help me stop them. Zane moved closer, his energy form touching Maya's shoulder with gentle warmth. I promise. Our survival is not worth the destruction of your species' freedom. As the sun set over the observatory, Maya felt a deep sense of peace. The choice she had made 6 months ago, in her living room, surrounded by government agents and her frightened sister, had led to this moment. Tomorrow, other humans would face the same decision she had made. Some would choose to bond with alien consciousness, expanding beyond normal human limitations. Others would choose to remain purely human, helping to guide and protect both species. Both choices were valid. Both were necessary. Maya looked up at the stars, no longer seeing them as distant points of light, but as a vast network of consciousness, and life stretching across the galaxy. Somewhere out there, other species were facing their own challenges, their own opportunities for growth and connection. What happens next? Chloe asked, joining Maya at the window. We build something new. Maya replied, feeling Zane's presence warm and steady in her mind. Neither purely human nor purely alien, but something that combines the best of both species. As night fell, Maya prepared for another evening of communication with the approaching alien fleet. But tonight felt different. Tonight marked the beginning of a new chapter in the history of both civilizations. The age of isolation was ending. The age of connection had begun, and Maya Rodriguez, the lonely astronomer who had spent years searching for signals from space, had become the bridge that would unite two worlds in ways no one had ever imagined possible. Maya hadn't slept in days. She sat at her kitchen table, staring at her phone as it buzzed with missed calls from Dr. Kim. The observatory had been calling her all morning, but she couldn't bring herself to answer. How could she explain that? She was falling in love with an alien being who needed her to save his entire species. Her sister Chloe had driven up from the city that morning, worried about Maya's sudden absence from work. She sat across the table now, studying Maya with concerned eyes. You look terrible, Chloe said gently. When's the last time you ate something real instead of just coffee and crackers? I'm fine, Maya lied, pushing food around on her plate. Just dealing with some complicated research that requires you to disappear for a week? Come on, Maya, talk to me. Maya wanted desperately to tell her sister everything. Chloe had always been her closest friend, the one person who never judged her for being different. But how do you tell someone that aliens are real, and one of them wants to merge consciousness with you? There's someone I've been seeing, Maya said carefully. It wasn't technically a lie. Chloe's eyes brightened. Really? That's wonderful. You've been alone too long. What's he like? He's different, very different from anyone I've ever met. Different how? Is he another scientist? Before Maya could answer, her laptop on the counter started beeping urgently. She recognized the pattern immediately. It was the same signal sequence Zane had been using to communicate through the radio telescope. What's that? Chloe asked, following Maya to the computer. Maya's heart raced as she read the message appearing on her screen. It wasn't coming through the observatory this time, somehow. Zane was communicating directly with her personal computer. Danger. Government agents approaching your location. They detected energy signatures. Do not trust drive. Kim? Maya felt the blood drain from her face. Dr. Kim had been asking too many questions about her research, and now she understood why. Maya, you're scaring me, Chloe said. What's going on? Before Maya could answer, car doors slammed outside. Through her window, she could see 3 black SUVs parked in her driveway. Men in dark suits were walking toward her front door with purpose. "We need to leave, now." Maya grabbed her sister's hand. "What? Why? Maya, you're not making any sense." The doorbell rang, followed immediately by heavy knocking. "Dr. Rodriguez? This is Agent Thompson with the Department of Atmospheric Sciences. We need to speak with you about some unusual readings in your area." Maya knew that wasn't a real government department. She pulled Chloe toward the back door, but more agents were already surrounding the house. "There's nowhere to run," Chloe whispered, looking terrified. The front door burst open without warning. 6 agents in black tactical gear flooded into Maya's living room, led by a stern woman with silver hair. "Dr. Rodriguez, I'm Director Nash. We know you've been in contact with an unidentified entity. For national security, we need you to come with us." "I don't know what you're talking about," Maya said, trying to keep her voice steady. "Your electromagnetic readings have been off the charts. For a week, satellite data shows energy signatures around your property that don't match any known technology." Director Nash stepped closer. "Where is it? Where's what? The alien? We know it's been visiting you." Maya's heart hammered against her ribs. "How much did they know? You're mistaken. I'm just a radio astronomer. I look at stars. Dr. Kim has been monitoring your communications for months. He reported suspicious signals and your unusual behavior. We also have thermal imaging showing a human-sized energy form in your backyard. For the past 3 nights, Maya felt betrayed. Dr. Kim, her mentor and friend, had been spying on her all along. "Maya," Chloe said quietly, "please tell me this isn't real." Before Maya could respond, the temperature in the room dropped suddenly. The lights flickered, and a familiar blue glow began emanating from the walls themselves. "It's here," one of the agents shouted, raising some kind of electronic device. Zane materialized in the center of the living room, but he looked different than before. His energy form was more intense, almost blindingly bright, and Maya could feel power radiating from him like heat from a furnace. "Maya," his voice echoed strangely, "you are in danger. I will not let them take you." The agents immediately surrounded Zane with their devices, which Maya now realized were some kind of energy containment technology. Beams of red light shot out, trying to trap Zane's form. But he moved too quickly. "Stop." Maya stepped between Zane and the agents. "You don't understand what you're dealing with." "Maya, get away from that thing," Director Nash ordered. "It's not human. It's dangerous." "His name is Zane, and he's not dangerous. He came here peacefully." "Peacefully?" Director Nash laughed harshly. "These beings are scouts for an invasion force. They're looking for ways to take over human bodies." "That's not true," Maya protested. But doubt crept into her voice as she remembered Zane's words about bonding consciousness. Zane's form flickered as more containment beams hit him. "Maya, I'm losing strength. The devices they use disrupt my energy patterns." "Let him go," Maya demanded. "We can't do that. This entity poses a threat to national security." Chloe grabbed Maya's arm. "Maya, please, come with them. This thing, whatever it is, it's not worth risking your life." Maya looked at her sister's frightened face, then at Zane struggling against the energy beams, then at the agents who saw him only as a threat to be contained. "Zane," she called out, "what happens to your people if you don't return?" "We fade away," he said weakly. "But Maya, I will not force you to sacrifice your humanity for us. The choice must be yours alone." Director Nash moved closer to Maya. "Dr. Rodriguez, this entity has been manipulating your emotions to gain your trust. It's a standard alien infiltration technique." "You're wrong," Maya said firmly. "He's shown me things about the universe that humans have never understood. His people don't want to conquer us. They want to learn from us. And in return, they want to possess human bodies. Is that the future you want for humanity?" Maya's mind raced. Everything was happening too fast. The agents, her sister's fear, Zane's weakening form, the impossible decision she had to make. "Maya," Zane said softly, his light growing dimmer, "if you choose to help my people, you will not lose yourself. You will become more than human, not less." Don't listen to it, Chloe pleaded. Maya, you're all the family I have left. I can't lose you to this. The containment beams were winning. Zane's form was becoming unstable, flickering like a candle. In strong wind, choose quickly, Director Nash said. Once we have this entity in custody, you'll never see it again. Maya closed her eyes. Feeling the weight of two entire species resting on her decision, she thought about her lonely nights at the observatory, searching the stars for meaning. She thought about the connection she felt with Zane, deeper than anything she had experienced with another human. She thought about her sister's love and fear. When Maya opened her eyes, they were glowing with the same blue light as Zane's energy. Form. I've made my choice, she said quietly. What happened next would change everything, not just for Maya, but for the future of both human and alien civilizations. The moment of decision had finally arrived, and there was no going back.